Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to Bullish and Bearish Trading. Welcome to tonight's video. I really appreciate you guys watching last time's video. I hope that it was helpful. The market didn't drop. Well, it did drop today. You could have played that UVXY on some uptrend and downtrends. Really choppy market today. But futures are looking up at the moment, so let's see if we hold that uptrend into the morning, and maybe we could get some gains tomorrow. Always playing into the downside is also a really good technique, but of course, if we want that long-term gains, let's say if we're holding Apple or whatever it may be, we do of course want to look at that and pay attention to it and kind of see what's the trajectory for it, maybe whether it be the past days, past weeks, past months, past year, and whatever, like anything like that. So today, let's get right into the video. Today we'll be talking about what are the put money in place for this week and for the next couple of weeks ahead. So let's get right into it. So first, let's talk about NEO. Really down on the whole month. Kind of had a really hard month, hitting peaks of about $67 back in highs when they released their new battery and all about that. Coming into the few weeks, we had a really choppy market, and also that kind of also led to it getting beat down, including that it had such a strong uptrend from the past weeks that we had, and maybe just a little small pullback that we need to have to be able to have some bigger gains in the future. So why NEO? Why buy NEO? So first, I think NEO is a buy because of how low it is, and also that it broke the 100-day moving average, which is completely to the bottom, and that's kind of long-term support there. I mean, it is holding that right now at the moment, since we're at around $43 a share, and the 100-day moving average is at $41. So that's a really good sign that we're going to hold that 100-day moving average, which is our long-term support. Obviously, we go lower into the 150-day moving average and 200-day moving average, but that's obviously for more of a bear market territory. If the market does continue to fall and keeps going lower, I don't expect that at all, since we kind of did break that downtrend that we had from the past week and the past other week before with this really choppy market. So again, we had earnings this morning, and kind of last night we kind of had some news about it, about their delivery numbers, their numbers, and all about that. So what I really like about what they said in the earnings was that they delivered 17,000 of their strong growth plays and strong growth cars that led up to 111% year-over-year growth, which is super great, and 42% quarter-over-quarter, which is also another great indicator that it is a growing company, that we do have strong trajectory for the past weeks, past months, and whatever it may be. Another thing is that they also have 3 new models that achieved exceptional performance in the markets. Their ES6 model has been the best-selling electric vehicle in China for the full year of 2020 and 2021, which is really great. Their ES8 has also achieved their #1 sales in 2020, and currently priced about $35,000 for each car in China. Another thing that is also really good about this company is that they achieved monthly deliveries of 7,225 vehicles in January 21, which leads to about 600% in year-over-year growth for monthly deliveries, which is also another great indicator that they have been growing as a business. Their revenue growth is also especially high, and their margin revenue is also especially high for a 17% year-over-year growth, with a positive cash flow from operating activities such as their prescription models, and also obviously the delivery numbers. And that's why I really like NEO, also because of their subscription, about their operation, where they basically replace the battery of every car when it is needed, instead of recharging it, which is also a really good detail about them, because obviously people have to pay for that monthly subscription to be able to replace their batteries, and that obviously leads to more growth as people that need to charge their batteries, they don't need to pay. But obviously, maybe the technology obviously it enhances, and maybe that subscription may be better than charging your vehicle like a Tesla. And battery swaps are no for Tesla, which is kind of like good competition because they're kind of two distinct companies and two very different business models in a way, that if I can describe it in that way. Another one that we have for this week is PLTR. I mean, a conservative price target that I have is $50 on this one. My trade plan is basically enter right now with a stop loss at around $21, a very low risk and high reward setup. Also, since we have kind of like a cup and handle forming on that weekly chart and that daily chart, kind of forming that, and then maybe we get a pullback and then up to the more upside if we do get this green market. Obviously it's highly shorted stock, so obviously if we start moving up, we could see big moves coming up, and it's highly conservative projection of about $50 a share by the end of the year if we do continue to move up in this market. Very low risk and high reward play. I think that PLTR is very bullish and very hated on for no reason, also since it's kind of like a big thing for government companies, and I think that's why people don't like it that much, because most of their revenue comes from government, of course, but that only leads to more revenue. Why? Because the government has a lot of money, they have a lot of cash, they are willing to pay for that service that they have to be able to kind of gain control of what they have. So I think that this could be a really good play. Also, since they have a 3M partnership that could lead to big numbers. I mean, they kind of pull out contracts kind of weekly, monthly, and that's also really good for the company since it's kind of leading to new things. And also COVID was also a really good factor for it, but obviously we see strength after COVID as cases decreasing and much more like that. Another stock that I want to get into is the MJ ETF. Why the MJ ETF? So we saw stocks like TLRY, APHA, Aero Cannabis, even Sundial Growers, move over 100% from their lows that they were at. And right now we're seeing kind of like a just consolidation of the actual cannabis industry. Well, not the industry itself, because it is blowing out, but we had blowout earnings from APHA, and obviously TLRY reacted to that, which are two of the biggest companies in the actual stock market exchange here. But I also think that we have kind of like a move up and a consolidation right now, where we're starting to move up a little bit. We saw APHA and TLRY move up 8% on absolutely no news this morning, March 2nd, of course. And I also think that things like Sundial Growers could also, boom. Obviously, it's not a great play because they don't have that much revenue, and it's kind of like a penny stock, so it's a little bit more high risk, high reward, since penny stocks are heavily shorted. But plays like APHA and TLRY could also work out, and the MJ actual ETF could also work out because you're playing the actual marijuana sector as a whole. So why marijuana? I mean, we also see kind of like a push for legalization coming up for the not only for US but all over the world. I mean, we can see big numbers pulling out here for TLRY and APHA as legalization comes into play and decriminalization comes into play. And we have had big news about legalization in the United States, which could also lead for a catalyst if we get any more news about that. If we kind of lead up to that day that we actually get that full legalization, I mean, that stock will only keep on going up and uptrend and uptrend and uptrend. Obviously, it won't be that big of an uptrend in one day. As soon as we get that kind of news a little bit like, hey, we're working on it. But if you do want to hold that for like a midterm stock play, it could also really be a big winner. Obviously, you want to get these pops and option plays for quick profit, but obviously in the long run, it's also a good idea because obviously you want to get the most out of it. Sometimes short term does not play out like you want it to, especially with this market that is at all-time highs. It's really choppy, really volatile, since, you know, we see days like today, we see days like yesterday. Nasdaq was up 3%, and now we were down almost 1.2% at one point. So it all depends on what the market wants to do in these past coming weeks. Obviously, we all believe that it can lead higher, but we got to put into the factor of what can the dollar do. Will it climb? What can bond yields do, again, like we talked in the last video? What can oil do? What can commodities do? And all type of stuff. I mean, we have all different type of factors affecting the market, and we don't know what's going to happen, of course, because it all depends on what those things do. And obviously, we also don't know what buyers and sellers are going to do. We can't read the mind of other investors. And as more panic comes, more selling comes. And as more buying comes, more buying comes. So it all depends on what investors want to do in this upcoming weeks and months and days for this market. So as I said, another good play, the MJ ETF, or you could play the individual stock itself, such as TLRY and APHA, which are two of the biggest marijuana companies in the New York Stock Exchange. So yeah. And also another play that we could also get into, another ad money play right now, is XL Fleet. Why XL Fleet? They kind of manage like a battery-based company, where basically if you want to go turn your car into an electric vehicle, you can kind of do that, but obviously it's going to cost. But as we see more of the electronic vehicle coming into play, we could see big things coming. I mean, we saw Tesla, you know, run up thousands of percent. We saw NIO, and obviously this could actually be a very good thing as more people come to electric vehicles, as oil prices are moving up. You know, you got to put everything into factor, kind of pick up the puzzles and put them all together, kind of to lead your thesis to believe that the stock will go higher, and kind of put everything together to put your thesis a little bit stronger, and hypothesis, of course. Yeah, that'll be all, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everything that you guys do, all the comments, all the likes. I appreciate that. Please make sure to comment a ticker. I'll go over it in the next video. Thank you guys, and have a great trading day tomorrow.